All right, we're gonna go ahead and do some smoking today, some cooking, some barbecue. And here's our lean-to. So let me walk over here. I just rolled up this one side. I had to get my microphone on because, as you could hear, the ATVs are out again. So I did the one side, now I'm gonna do this side. All right. Um, so I just got done wiring the cookhouse over here. So, and I'm powering it right now with the generator. So let me get the generator off the porch and the cable. I do have a new pole set out in the front yard. I just have to tunnel the cable down from where the pole, where it'll connect from a new 200 amp service to the house. And then from there, I'll run a cable underground and tie it into this, because I need a cable anyway for the swimming pool. And then I would like to put some power out on the pavilion and the tiki bar. So let me go ahead, take this down out of the way. All right, so today we're gonna do a bunch of ribs and some steaks. So I'm going to need both the chud box and also the Weber kettle. There's our Weber kettle. We're not gonna use the camp stove today. So I'm gonna be able to move the camp stove out of the way. So let me move this first. And then we'll get our table ready that we do all of our videos on for now. Let's slide the chud box over. We'll get that one going today as well. We have a lot to cook. I'm not sure if we're going to use the Blackstone. Let me get the grill, put this over there. All right, so step one, I'm just going to get some regular briquettes, Kingsford briquettes, and I'm just going to fill this chimney up. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Let me get the chud box. So basically all I do is I take a dustpan. I got this brush and I guess last time, I don't know, seems like, and get 2 haystacks. I'm gonna need 2 more for the chud box. And then over here, I'm gonna go ahead and put those down. I'll let those heat up. What's going on, Jody?
I got the ribs all seasoned. I have more beef ribs in there as well as some ribeyes. So they're all salted. Thank you. Now we're just waiting for our chimney and all of our coals to get hot so we can get these on the grill. It's very sunny.
All right, so now that I have the, hey Jody. Now that I have the coals in the chimney cooking, getting hot for us, I'm gonna start us a little fire. So there's our little barricade for the chickens so they don't come up this far. All right, so the way we start our fires is we cheat. Oh, did you see all of our barbecue? We're stocked up for the winter. So we use these quick starts, not for the barbecue, this is for the fire pit. And then, whoops, they kind of split in half. So we have one of those. And we used to use lighter fluid, like we said, on all of our barbecuing until we learned about the chimney. There's Jody. What do you got there, Jody?
This is my emotional support chicken. Her name's Yellow. I had to pick all the dirt off her feet. Well, she wants down. She's not happy. She likes to walk around.
Yeah.
Alright, let's go back. Have a good time? Much better view up here, huh?
All right, so now that we have some time, I'm going to get this fire started. Over. Put a starter block down, put the fuel, little lighter fluid since we have so much. We have no idea what to do with it anymore since we started using the chimney. Light, it's a bit windy. Love the smell of a fire. Nothing is like fall, like smelling a fire burning. Chairs. What a beautiful fall day. The leaves are changing. It's cool, but the sun's out. We'll have to have a fireside chat today. We got a lot to talk about. We went to Costco today and we read ingredients on a lot of stuff. We already did that once when we went to Sam's Club. We posted that video. I have to get together the Costco one. But a lot of the stuff that we saw, I'm not happy with. Let's take the camera over to here. So yesterday was a beautiful day. We took down the curtains because next week it's supposed to be really, really cold, like high, only 50, lows, upper 30s, lower 40s. So we took all of our porch furniture down, and then I stained all the decks. I stained the pavilion here. I also did all the way down the boardwalk. Did the tiki bar floor. Took in all of our tiki people. There's our smoke tube. Some more boardwalk. Can't wait to get into there. There's where we're going to do all of our prepping. It's inside our garage bar, our gar bar. Look it up on YouTube. Gar bar is a pretty big thing. And then over here, we put the swimming pool down for the season too, and we stained that deck. Very busy yesterday. There's a side angle of the property. We planted that big pine tree right there. We planted a lot of pine trees. We like having pines on our property. We love the shade. We love the privacy it gives. All right, so you can see the heavy smoke has really calmed down quite a bit. So I think we're just about ready to pour those coals, pour those coals into the Weber kettle. Perfect. I'm gonna put that in the chud box because we have to get this one going too. Now we'll let that one set up for us. Oh yes, look at all the wonderful meat.
I brought this in case there are a lot of flies, which there probably are.
Okay. So the Weber kettle is ready for the steaks.
Okay.
Actually, I want to put the lid on, let the grate heat up first so then we could scrape it and then we'll throw the steaks on.
Sounds good.
All right, so Jody seasoned up our meat that we're going to put on here to cook here in a minute to barbecue. These are some pork spare ribs. These are some ribeye steaks, these three. And then those three are beef back ribs. And what we like to do is whenever we cook any type of beef product, either steaks, ribs, whatever, we like to put Wagyu on them to make them extra juicy and delicious. So the steaks, they only have salt and a little bit of pepper. Same with the back ribs. And I think Jody put a little bit more on the spare ribs over here. All right, so on our Weber kettle, we have two temperature gauges. We put this one in ourselves. We just drilled a hole, and actually they sell those gauges at like Home Depot. And that one is down near the grate where the meat will be. And the reason for that is we don't have the electronic thermometers that you could just stick in meat for temping. So this is actually a pretty accurate temperature. You know, the factory one's on top, and that's always over the coals. So that's a terrible way to know how hot it is for your meat that you're cooking, because we always have it over the coals, because the coals, all the smoke comes up over the meat and out the vent here. So yeah, that's a terrible location for that. Weber should change that. Okay, so now what I want to do is come over here and we're going to get some kind of wood that we're going to put in to have a little bit of smoky flavor. I think we're going to go with mesquite. I kind of am favoring the mesquite taste. So I'm going to go ahead, open that up, and I'm going to drop a couple pieces inside our Weber kettle. I'm going to pick two pieces like this. It's a little smoky up here. As soon as we get the electricity set up here, we're going to put a big fan so that we could blow the smoke off of here. All right, but anyway, back to over here. I'm going to take that down. Then I'm going to open up the little side panel here. So we did buy a special grate online so that you could add more coals or you could add wood. So that's kind of what we did right here. Push this down a little. Go ahead and close that up. All right. So let me scrape the top a little bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sear our steaks first. So I'm going to take these steaks, look how nice and thick that is. I'm just going to throw them right over the fire. Look at all that nice marbling and all that nice fat. Those are going to be delicious. We'll just let those go for a little bit. All right, let's see what's happening over here. That one wasn't quite ready, but I'll flip them a couple times. So we like to sear them first because it gets it up to about 100 degrees to get a nice crisp on the edge of those. And then once we sear them, some nice grill lines and everything, then we'll just go ahead and move them off of the direct fire so that we'll just let them cook internally. Hey, look who's here. It's Jody.
I'm here. I heard there was meat here.
Lots of meat. Oh, yeah. Put that fat right in the meat. Actually, I'm going to turn this around. We'll let those sear up.
A little smoky out here in the smoke too.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, we have a celebrity. Jody decided to join us.
I'm here. I'm here. Everyone
So,
just calm down.
In a few minutes, once these steaks start getting done, and over there with the chud box, once we get those coals ready, I gotta hurry to move these. Yeah, that one's done. Perfect. That one, oh yeah. See, it started flaring up because the fat finally started rendering a little bit. It's got a big glob of some delicious Wagyu.
Tallow.
Yeah, Wagyu tallow. Beef tallow. Oh, ow! Whew. We need a longer one of these.
Don't do this at home, kids.
We need a longer one of these spoons. All right, that should tame it a little.
See, this is what happens when you let a non-pitmaster do this. Next thing you know, everything's on fire. All right, our steaks are cooking up real nice. They're almost finished. We'll temp them again, and then we'll see when they're going to be ready to get off.
All right, so the chud box is up to temperature, about 250. We want a nice slow cook. I'm gonna go ahead and put the back ribs on there. Actually, before I put the other two, I'm gonna put the spare ribs on, make sure there's room. There we go. Now I'll put the other two spare ribs on. Back ribs, sorry.
They're beef ribs.
Beef back ribs.
So this is what happens when the pitmaster's not the one running the show. I got these rookies.
All right. And now we're going to cook this at 250 for a couple hours.
See you in a little bit. All right, our steaks are all done. They had an internal temperature, which we checked before we took them off, at about 125 to 130, which is where we want them to be. Now they just need to rest. We're going to top them with a little more of the beef Wagyu tallow. That helps kind of keep them really moist and delicious while they're resting. And it helps them when you go to eat them, that they just have a wonderful texture.
It smells amazing.
There's nothing like a grilled steak.
With smoky mesquite flavor added.
Of course. All right, let's see if we have any eggs today. Ooh, we got 5 eggs. I call dibs.
How's that fire look, Jody? It's firing.
Looks pretty hot.
All right, time to check on the ribs. All right, the fat's really dripping. Let's see, what are we rocking this thing at? A little warm. It's cooking up a little faster than I had thought it would from the high heat. Let's temp the spare or the backbones here. Oops, let me turn it on. Yeah, they're about 180. All right, the back ribs are pretty much the temp. So I'm going to take them off. I'm going to wrap them. I'm going to put the meat side down. I'm going to put beef tallow in those. I'm going to put them back on the grill for another couple minutes. Oh, look at the nice pullback. Look at that. Those are going to be delicious. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these ribs, but before I do that, I want to put some tallow. It'll drip down to the bottom and be all over the front side, which is the meat side. What I want to do now is just steam them a little. Make them extra tender. Alright, back on the chud box. These go for, I don't know, half hour. Alright, I'm going to put some bacon up on top of the spare ribs here. Hopefully I won't set this on fire.
Odds are pretty good.
Yes.
Bit of a flame.
Raging fire. Alright, so we temped it. It's about 178. So now what we're going to do is put some bacon up on this. I'm going to flip it over so the meat side's down in a second. I just wanted to make sure I got good coverage. And then once we do this, we're going to put it back on until it hits about 205. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And then we'll just let it cook inside the foil a little, and it'll just like steam it and really tenderize it for us. Back on the chud box. And we'll check on it in about a half hour.
All right, it's time for the unwrapping. These have been off of the smoker for a little while, so we wanted them to kind of rest here, and we're gonna somehow open these. These are the beef ribs, so these ones were already cut. Ooh. Wow. That looks amazing. Really
Look at the
hot.
pullback of the bone. Wow.
So these don't have tons of meat on them. So this, you would need to make more if this was your meal, most likely. because you can tell that they're just gonna fall off the bone. They're really hot still. Let me see if I can. All right, and lastly, we have our full set of spare ribs. So let's take a look at these. Now remember, we did not put any sugar on them. You recall we've talked a lot about spice rubs and things that have sugar. Wow, that smells so amazing. Now these you usually have to be pretty careful with to move them. Let me see if I can flip them around for you. They look amazing, so delicious. We use that bacon up on there to keep them really moist. This meat will follow just off the bone when we're ready to eat.